So my interest came by seeing a news of the most premature child ever born, 243 grams, 21 weaker, and you see the eyes are normal. So today, as we are saving younger children, the incidence of ROP will go higher. And we need to understand that a lot of people who have not been exposed to ROP, vitreous surgeons, would like to start vitreous surgery. I'm showing about a 10-year-old video where I just started the ROP surgery. We need to understand in ROP, the traction can be behind the lens to the ridge, between the ridge and the ora, and these need to be removed for the traction to go down and try to create a PVD. This video, I have fast forwarded it. So use a 25 gauge trocars, do a core vitrectomy, try to remove the vitreous behind the lens, do a PVD, go along the ridge and try to remove the vitreous from the ridge so you can reduce the traction. You have two kind of cases, one which have been lasered before and one which have not been lasered. You fear the one without the lasers because they are the medical legal problems you will hand up because the patient is going to be aggressive. Those who have been lasered, majority would today with the combination of anti-VEGF and lasers, if you are following up a child, unlikely go into stage 4 or 5. But you have occasional patients who don't follow up. This child did not get an eye checkup done, landed with 4A, for which I did a laser before I planned the surgery. So I was trying to create a PVD, but was not easy in the beginning. In the meanwhile, I tried to trim the periphery. So sometimes you don't use tricot. I didn't use a tricot to see the vitreous. So, and the maneuverability goes down because the lid doesn't open so well. Your maneuverability goes down of trying to use the instrument. So that learning curve, and use a non-contact lens to do the vitrectomy. So it's important that if a break is created, then you lose the eye. But if you were to create a break in the attached retina, then you need to laser it and put in gas, which works. I had one case that I inadvertently touched the attached retina and the hole did see. But if you make a hole in the detached retina, then it's difficult. You basically have to abort the surgery. It is not going to settle down. Now, these cases, the surgery seems simple, but the long-term follow-up is an issue because majority of them will develop a cataract or a glaucoma. So it's important the follow-up under anesthesia, sedation is difficult. So the long-term follow-up is as important as the surgery, and hope we can reduce the incidence of stage 4 and we educate our neurologists to have better care and we can better screening procedure. So I tried in this patient to do a PVD, could not get a full PVD, but I trimmed and the patient did well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Amit. Are there any comments from any of the panelists?
Dr. Amit, nicely done surgery. I was wondering if a buckle would have worked in that patient because the macula was in its place only. So in peripheral, there was not much of a TRD in that sense.
Yeah, I think shifting to lens sparing vitrectomy. That time I have given up the buckle. I thought lens sparing vitrectomy may have, some people say, better results than the buckling. But normally when we buckle, it was only the nasal side or a small TRD. I think buckle or encirclement would have happened, would be a safer option in the long term.
Thank you.